So a couple weeks back, I stumbled across this 60-gallon Puma air compressor. It's a 5-horse motor right here, and it's only 115 psi, but it's 15.7 CFM at 90 psi, which is much better than what I had. Anyhow, I saw it on Facebook Marketplace. They got one at $100 for it. You know, said that the motor was bad. And I looked and I was like, okay, well, even if I have to buy a new motor, it's $200. Not terrible. Anyways, went and looked at it, and when I went to look at it, first thing I did was like, I'm gonna spin the pulleys and see if there's compression in the compressor. Obviously there is, you could hear it. And then I noticed that the motor spins very freely. So I was like, I don't think that the motor's bad. That's what I'm thinking in my head. Didn't say anything out loud. Anyways, you know, gave the guy $100 that he asked for, and then before we left, I was like, real quick, can I test something on it real quick? So I took this was actually the old switch. So I took the cord and basically wired it directly so it was bypassing the switch. Fired right up, ran perfectly. The guy, you know, he's like, oh, I guess it's too late to negotiate on price. He's like, yeah. He's like, but I'll show you how to do it. So if you're ever, you know, thinking that you have a bad motor or whatever in the future, you can test it. He already had his new air compressor there, so I mean, for him, it really didn't matter so much. But anyways, I say that because this is a $16 part. So bought a new one, obviously. Put it all on there. Works perfectly. Absolutely love this thing. Solid tank, good compressor and everything else. And it flows, like I said, way more CFM, so I don't run out of air going through these lines like I did with the other one. So that's one thing that I got lucky and stumbled across. The other thing we're about to work on.
Look at this old one. It looks like that gasket's very dry, or that O-ring. It's probably why it was letting air pass.
As you can see right here, this is the kind of junk that came out of the fuel pump and the old one. I've cleaned it out multiple times, but I'm sure a lot of it got in there and has just destroyed that pump. Like any other, you know, fuel pump, dirt and debris, stuff like that, scars the surface, and it makes it where the pump just actually can't pump anymore. Probably what happened to that one. But either way, we've got it together, and we're ready to go plug her back in and check it out. I just wanted to point this out. So this power washer here was another marketplace, Facebook Marketplace find. All in all, between the power washer and the parts right here, I'm about $600 into it. And like I said, I've got a couple $1,000 power washer. These ones are not cheap. This is actually a mid-grade one, so it'd probably be somewhere in the $6,000 range to buy new. And I mean, they start around, I think, $3,000 or $4,000, and they go all the way up to like $10,000. So I just wanted to point this out too, because there's a lot of people that have been asking about the equipment we have, how we got it. You know, I'm not saying they're hinting at that, you know, somebody gave us a bunch of things or that we didn't work for stuff. They were curious in the aspect that they wanted to do the same thing. And that's pretty much the secret. I am on Facebook Marketplace at least once a day. Not looking for the same things either. It's just random things that I'm like, you know, it'd be kind of handy to have this or that. And I just search. And sometimes you find things for free even. As a matter of fact, I was still looking for one after I found this one, and I found one for free. I was gonna go pick it up, but somebody beat me to it. My plan on that was actually to do the same thing, fix it, turn around, sell it, and just get, you know, some money to, you know, upgrade other things in the shop. But I can't complain. We've had a really good year as far as upgrading equipment and stuff like that. But yeah, that's our biggest secret. Search Facebook Marketplace, find stuff that's cheap, not necessarily, not cheap quality, but cheap as in the price. So $100 for that air compressor, that was cheap. Even this thing, between all the parts and everything else, $600 in total is very cheap for that. And really, I've got less than that into it. I've got about $200 into it because I turned around and sold my old power washer for $400. So for $200, I went from a gas-powered 4,400 PSI, 4 gallon per minute pressure washer to a 4.5 gallon per minute, 3,500 PSI pressure washer with heat. And that heat, you guys have seen us clean that skid steer. That steam or that hot water makes a world of difference. So I'm gonna roll this thing back over there and get it all set back in the corner. So, very simple concept. We actually leave everything hooked up, and all I have to do is come over here, turn this water on. Let's turn that water on. Turn this. You can hear the fan running down there. That fan. See that igniter down there? That fan spins the pump. That's water. Now we'll come over here, because that is driven by pressure. That igniter, or the pump rather, will not move. It's got a solenoid on it, and it will not move any fuel until the pressure demand is there. I went ahead and put the power washer nozzle outside. I've actually got it cold right now. So essentially how this works is there's a thermostat on here. Set it to wherever you want. There's a roar. So basically once you kick it up or kick it back down, right, it'll do whatever it needs to maintain that temperature. So you can see it's kicking in and out right now to maintain this temperature. It's already reached it, it stops. But once it gets colder, it'll kick back on again, like that. So I usually keep it set up higher. Too much of oil and debris on there, that's from me. That's where in the top, there's supposed to be a plate there. I'm gonna weld something on there, it's just not gonna be today. I guess since we were on the topic of, you know, how we're able to make all this work by buying equipment, being a first generation farm. I paid $1,500 for this manure spreader. I think I showed it on the channel. I know I showed it on the channel. I don't know if I told the price or not, but anyways, 1,500 bucks. It did need new tires. I got lucky on the tires because I was intending to spend about $500 or better on tires. Just get some used military tires to throw on there. I ended up lucking out, and a friend happened to have some that was supposed to go with the dump truck that he sold a couple years ago. The guy never came back to get it. The dump truck ended up getting, I guess, burned up or blew up, something like that. The guy never came back to get the tires, and he just wanted to see somebody get some good use out of them, so he gave them to us. The skid steer, as you can see, not pretty, not the best by any means. However, it works. all set up. The hose actually runs up and over, down the wall, and then down to the pressure washer down there. The hose reel's over here. It's 100 foot of hose, more than enough for us to reach anywhere right here, all the way over to the to the wood boiler, all the way around the other garage, and actually over to the house, not around it, but to it, which more than enough space for me to wash stuff. And then obviously I can reach all the way around in here, anywhere in the shop at all. So pretty handy. I like it, and it keeps everything out of the way. And then I also moved some screws around over here so I could hang the wands and a couple of attachments that we have for the power washer. And I'm gonna put that board right there up over here, and that'll have all my like car wash supplies, waxes, etc., so that they're kind of out of the way. Yeah, I think I'm gonna finish that though tomorrow.